I don't remember unlocking my apartment door at 2:17 a.m. I know that sounds small, forgettable, but I have the notification from my smart lock. It logged my code being entered correctly. The camera inside my living room shows the door opening. It shows someone stepping in. The problem is, I was already inside. And I don't mean that in a metaphorical way. I mean, I was asleep in my bed at 2:17 a.m. when the door unlocked from the outside. That's where this starts. Normal life. I'm not a paranoid person. I'm 24. I live alone in a one-bedroom apartment in Columbus, Ohio. I work late shifts as a data analyst for a logistics company. Nothing dramatic. Just spreadsheets, shipping reports, the kind of job where you zone out with headphones on. My routine is boring on purpose. Work until 11 p.m., gym sometimes, microwave dinner, scroll TikTok, shower, bed by 1 a.m. About 3 months ago, I installed a smart lock and 2 indoor cameras. Not because I was scared, just because my neighbor's car got broken into and it made me think I should be smarter about security. The cameras only activate when the system detects motion during away mode, and away mode only turns on automatically when my phone leaves the geofence radius around the building. Simple. I tested it when I first installed everything. Left the building, waited for the notification, walked back in. It worked perfectly. Nothing weird for the first few weeks. Then one Monday morning, I woke up to a notification. Front door unlocked, 2:17 a.m. I stared at it for a full minute because I hadn't left. I checked the app. It said the code was entered correctly. My code. I assumed it was a glitch. That's what normal people do. I opened the camera footage. The video starts with my living room dark. Then the door opens slowly. Someone walks in. Same height as me. Same build. Wearing my gray hoodie. He walks straight past the camera without looking at it and disappears down the hallway toward my bedroom. The timestamp? 2:17 a.m. I check my bedroom camera next. At 2:18 a.m., it shows me in bed, asleep, not moving. The hallway remains empty. No one walks in. I remember sitting on the edge of my mattress that morning, phone in my hand, trying to line up what I was seeing with what I knew. There had to be a delay. Maybe the timestamps were off. Maybe the system cached old footage. That's what I told myself. I should have left that night. Instead, I reset the cameras. For the next week, nothing happened. Work, gym, microwave dinners. I even joked about it with my coworker Melissa. "Dude," she said, laughing, "you probably sleepwalked." I don't sleepwalk. I never have. Still, I downloaded a sleep tracking app, just to be sure. Everything looked normal. Until Friday. That's when I got the text. From my ex. "I don't think we should talk anymore. That message last night crossed a line." I stared at it. "What message?" She sent a screenshot. It was from my number. Sent at 1:43 a.m. It said, "You shouldn't pretend you don't see me when I'm standing right outside." My stomach dropped. I was home at 1:43 a.m. In bed. I checked our thread. The message was there. Sent. Delivered. Read. I don't drink. I don't black out. I don't send cryptic threats to people. I called her immediately. She didn't answer. I wish that had been the worst of it.
That weekend, I barely slept. I kept replaying the footage. The unlock, the duplicate. I slowed the video frame by frame. At 2:17:08, the door opens. At 2:17:10, the figure steps inside. At 2:17:12, it passes under the hallway light. That's when I noticed something. The way he walks, it's slightly off. My left foot drags a little when I'm tired. I injured it in high school soccer. The person on camera, no limp. The hoodie was mine, the build was mine, but the posture was cleaner. That's when I realized something wasn't right. I checked the logs again. There were 2 unlock events that night, 2:17 a.m. and 2:42 a.m. I had only noticed the first. I pulled up the 2:42 footage. The living room camera shows the hallway. At 2:41:58, someone walks out of the hallway toward the door. Same hoodie, same build. He pauses at the door, and he turns his head toward the camera. I froze the frame. It's my face, but the expression is wrong. Neutral, calm, like he knows something I don't. He unlocks the door from the inside, leaves, door shuts. At 2:42 a.m. I check my bedroom camera again. At 2:42 a.m., I'm still asleep. Same position, not moving. This is the part that still doesn't make sense. If someone entered at 2:17 and left at 2:42, where were they in between? Because they never appear entering my bedroom. There's no hallway camera, but the bedroom door was open. The angle would have caught someone walking in. No one did. Monday night, I stayed up. I turned off all lights, sat on my couch, watched the front door. If something was coming in, I'd see it. At 2:16 a.m., nothing. 2:17 a.m., nothing. 2:42 a.m., nothing. I almost laughed at myself. Then my phone buzzed. Front door unlocked, 2:17 a.m. I was staring at the door. It had not moved. The lock made no sound. I opened the live camera feed. The footage shows the door opening, shows someone stepping in. I was sitting on the couch in the same frame, but on the camera, the couch is empty. Cold washed over me. I looked down at myself, then back at the screen. The video shows the living room empty, except for the duplicate walking in. I was physically there, but not in the recording. That's when the panic set in. I ran to the door, checked the lock. It was still locked. The app still showed it as unlocked, then locked again. No sound, no movement. I checked the bedroom camera. On the footage, at that exact moment, someone is lying in my bed, facing the wall, breathing slowly. It wasn't live, it was recorded, time-stamped 2:18 a.m., but it was 2:19 in real life. The camera thought it was earlier, or I was. I don't know which is worse.
I stopped going to work, told them I had COVID. I stayed inside, covered the cameras with tape, changed my lock code, factory reset everything. For 2 days, nothing. Then Wednesday afternoon, I noticed something small. My toothbrush was wet. I hadn't brushed yet. I know that sounds stupid, but I'm meticulous. I checked my phone's screen time. There were app usages between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. Instagram, notes, photos. I was asleep. I checked my notes app. There was a new note, created at 3:12 a.m. It said, "He watches the door every night now." I didn't write that. No autocorrect errors, no typos. It sounds like me, but it isn't me. I started sleeping with my phone recording video beside my bed. On the third night, I reviewed the footage. At 2:16 a.m., I'm asleep. At 2:17 a.m., nothing. At 2:18 a.m., my body sits up. Not groggy, not stretching, just upright, eyes open, staring at the bedroom door. I don't remember this. In the video, I sit there for 2 full minutes. Then I whisper something. The audio is faint. I boosted it. It sounds like, "He's almost ready." Then I lie back down. At 2:21 a.m., I check the camera timestamps. No unlock event that night. No duplicate entering. Just me. Or something using me. I don't know anymore. The worst part happened last week. I finally told my sister. She drove over. We sat in the living room reviewing footage together. At 2:17 a.m. from 2 nights prior, the door unlock notification appears. The camera shows someone walking in. This time, my sister gasped. "Why are you outside?" she asked. Because in the footage, standing just beyond the doorway, is me, outside, watching him enter. 2 versions, one stepping in, one standing still on the sidewalk. My sister looked at me slowly. "Were you outside that night?" I hadn't left the apartment in 3 days. We rewounded, frame by frame. The outside version doesn't move, doesn't blink, just stands there, watching. Then the inside one turns his head toward the camera and smiles. That's when I unplugged everything.
I moved out yesterday, broke the lease, left most of the furniture, didn't argue about the penalty. I'm staying at a motel an hour away. No smart lock, no cameras, just a regular key. I thought distance would fix it. But last night, at exactly 2:17 a.m., my phone lit up. No notification sound, just the screen turning on. There was a new photo in my camera roll, taken at 2:16 a.m. It's a picture of me sleeping in the motel bed from across the room. The angle is wrong. My phone was charging on the nightstand.
The image metadata says it was taken with my front camera. That's impossible, unless I wasn't the one holding it. I'm writing this at 1:58 a.m. In 19 minutes, it'll be 2:17. I don't know if something is entering or leaving, or if the version of me that's afraid right now is the one that doesn't belong here. Because I checked the motel mirror earlier, and for just a second, my reflection didn't drag its left foot. If you made it this far, thank you for listening to something I haven't been able to say out loud anywhere else. I don't know what's happening to me. I don't know if this is stress, sleep disorder, something neurological, or something I can't name. But if you've ever experienced missing time, strange phone activity, or footage that doesn't line up with reality, I'd honestly like to know. Reading other people's experiences might help me feel less alone. If this story stayed with you, you can like the video or subscribe. It helps more than you probably realize. And before I go, I just want to say something personal. I'm actually an Indian girl from a very small village in India. It's quiet here, natural, peaceful in a way that feels very far from stories like this. I share these psychological horror stories because I love connecting with people from different parts of the world, especially listeners in the US who enjoy this kind of slow, unsettling experience. If any of you ever visit India one day, I hope you'll remember that you have a friend here. My village is simple and full of green fields and calm mornings, very different from smart locks and security cameras. India is beautiful. You are always welcome here. And it's 2:16 now, so I'm going to put my phone face down, because if it unlocks at 2:17 again, I don't want to see which version of me is holding it.